All right, guys, it's a new day, it's a new video, and I know I didn't record for a while, but today I want to talk about my 2 years in the United States. It's been 2 years and 3 months since I'm here. Now it's February 11, and I am driving to my college. I know. I'm going to college now. This is new for me, and this is probably one of the reasons why I didn't record videos for a few months, because I rethought like my whole life pretty much. I had kind of like a crisis. I wouldn't say crisis, but there's moments in your life when you like think and change your behavior because the previous strategies you had do not work anymore. So 2 years in America, during this time, I've lived in many places. I lived in upstate New York. That's where I all started. I've lived in Pittsburgh for a while. I have lived in Miami, and I've lived for a while, and that was a very spontaneous kind of thing, but it was my embodiment of FAFA, fuck around, find out, right? Oh God, what a timeline we live in. And that worked for me, going to Miami without money, figuring it out, and that definitely worked for me. I ended up in Tampa. I found a remote job, and my whole life I thought I didn't find Florida or Tampa any appealing for some reason. So for the last 6 months I've spent in Illinois. Now I'm in the suburbs, and honestly, suburbs is like the least pleasant experience ever. This is the most like depressing thing. Like this is like all you see all day long. It just a road, a lot of driving, houses, and like nobody's on the street, nobody's like socializing. And these are not like suburbs 40 minutes away, right? We're talking about suburbs 1.5 hours away from Chicago. This is like, there starts the cornfields. The cornfield starts over there, and the soy fields, and oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna just be yapping about my experience in the United States for 2 years, right? 2 years and 3 months I've been here, right? Man, the election, God, a lot of changes, a lot of positive changes is gonna be happening and are happening already. Some negative changes, and trying to navigate it as an immigrant and as a patriot, because I love this country, honestly. I don't know, a lot of you guys watched that video that got like a lot of views, and I was talking how hard it is to live in America, but my whole idea was that like I love this country, right? And I want to be the best, and I want to contribute the best to my abilities in this country, right? And that's why I'm going to be talking about why I went to college again. So this is a good country, but this is the country what you make of it, right? A lot of life experience, I guess, is what you make of it. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make the best out of this experience. And a lot of strategies I tried to do at first, like what I did in Europe, trying to figure out, move as close to the city center as possible, like what I did in Miami, and trying to meet people and find out. I mean, it worked. I got a job, whatever, but I think I underestimated this country. I was counting like within 3 years I kind of have the same level of success I had in Hungary, but I feel like I underestimated this country, and I feel like I might need more than 3 years, which makes sense because this is America, and this is like but somebody told me this is the combination, this is like the melting pot of everybody in the world. Like the most ambitious people from all other countries come here and they compete, because that's true. Like many like of our friends back in Europe, they didn't want to go, and like people who went and who stayed and who persevered and who went through all these challenges, because man, first years they're really, really tough in America, when you don't have credit score, when you don't have like anything, pretty much. You have to start from, and you don't even know that suburbs exist pretty much before coming to America, and then you realize what suburbs are when you are here, and you just die there, and then you realize, man, this is really horrifying. But anyway, the point is that people who were really ambitious, they went here and they stayed here, and now they're trying to make the best out of this. And I'm one of them. I know people who are one of them. I know people who came here and went back. but regardless, this is a great country, I believe, and that's the reason why, for example, my uncle came here in 90s, and he stayed, and he had a very successful life here, very successful business. And same reason my granddad's brother came to America like in 50s, and when he died, he left a crazy inheritance, right? Not to us, unfortunately, but that's like the whole other story. He was a good guy, though. He was a priest. He was a Catholic priest, saying they can marry, right? No, he actually didn't marry. He didn't marry, but some of them can. Eastern Orthodoxy and Eastern Catholicism, if you guys know about religion a little bit. So my life's here, as I said, I underestimated it, and I'm in college now. I've realized that my story is like, I went to college when I was 17 years old, and that was like horrible experience. It was in Slovakia. I didn't speak the language. I didn't prepare. It was kind of like last minute. I hated computer science and everything like math and physics. Like I could do it, but like I just hated it. And multiplied was me living with a guy who absolutely hated my guts. That didn't help much. And also not having any money at all, like at all. So I was forced to pretty much create a business. And my second months in Slovakia, I was already making like more than my parents made in Ukraine. And so I could support myself and go to the store Kaufland and just buy food and buy groceries and oatmeal in the morning, because I didn't have money for that before I created my business. But now, God, I almost missed that car. It's a dangerous turn here. Anyway, but now in the United States, like I went to college, right? It's a community college, because that was like the easiest thing to go to, and it was also kind of spontaneous. It was like in December. Like I spent the whole December pretty much learning and remembering math, because they had the placement tests for me. So English, I passed it like really easy, but for math I had to prepare. And my first test I scored like 35 out of 100. So they said, oh, you need to take like 4 additional math courses if you want to take a college level calculus. And I was like, I'm not taking 4 semesters of extra math. Are you kidding me? Like I knew math really well in high school. So and I had 5 attempts, and on my last attempt I had like 88 out of 100. So I spent like a month or more like just studying math, and I'm really glad I did. Now I'm not taking any math courses, but I'm glad I got it out of the way. I went to community college. Of course, it's not like a fancy college or anything, but I'm taking 4 courses right now, like philosophy and what else, like English and some other courses, right? Computer science, right? And some other one more, economics, right? I love economics, man. I love economics. I love taking these courses. Honestly, it feels like, student in community college, I get why there's a huge stigma against community colleges in the United States. But for me, right now, to study for free pretty much, and to be able to get all those essential courses out of the way and actually learn something, because my professors in philosophy and economics, and English, they're really, really good professors. Like they made you think, they made you those professors, they don't do any research, because they're not like in colleges, and none of them are student assistants. So that's why community colleges are kind of really good to study all these like essential courses, right? So that's what I'm doing right now. I decided to become a student again, and this time I really enjoy it, and I've been learning a lot about colleges in the United States. I think the reason why I actually even changed my mind, because I was really against colleges, and now I'm really pro colleges. So I've changed my mind, and I think one of the reasons is because I've lived on kind of next to campus for like a whole year in Tampa, right? And many of my friends went to that university. I'm talking about USF, University of South Florida. I was pretty much there daily, but I just wasn't a student. And I kind of thought in a different way. I think education in the United States, I think it's better. I think it's I like the idea of choosing your own courses. And I love studying in English. Like, I just love English. I've always loved English, and I never liked Slovak language or Hungarian language. That's why I only learned the basics pretty much in both. But English is the language like I want to perfect. I want to sound good in it. I want to be master in English language, right? I'm not talking about major. I'm just talking about the language itself. I just love it for some reason. As I said, I love America too. Like, I like this country a lot, especially now. I think this country is going to be a good country. That's why I'm in college, and I like it so far, and I'm committed to excel. I'm planning to be a straight A student. I'm planning to be on like president's list, but honestly, I just plan to be a really good student because the scholarships, right? I don't want to pay, like, I don't want to pay for college like a lot of money, right? I don't want to end up in like hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. And I like what Jordan Peterson says about colleges, honestly. Like, when you become a student, you kind of buy an identity, right? Because you're a student now, you are going places, right? And you have 4 years of pretty much self-discovery and learning. And I feel like I'm actually lazy. I'm lazy because I would do something that I need to do to get to the next level, but I'm not gonna do like more than that. University kind of forces me to study more and to think critically, and I think that's something I would like to develop more. I'd like to think more critically, right, and make better judgment in the future. So I think just honestly a lot of, I don't know, another thing, like, I don't want to be indoctrinated, right, and become like a slave or part of the system or whatever, right? But at the same time, I think there is no better way, and I think that's the reason why colleges exist today, when you have access to like literally unlimited information at the tip of your fingers. Like, why would colleges exist, right? I think in general it's because people are like me, people are lazy, so we only gonna do what we need to do, or and you need a kind of system like colleges. And think about it, like, if schools like primary and high schools were the only thing, and everybody else would be so smart to study by themselves, like, but they wouldn't, right? They wouldn't create a system for themselves, like, okay, Monday, Wednesday, I study from like 5 to 9 and don't bother me, right? And colleges try to continue the thought of Jordan Peterson. He says that they provide you this identity. You buy an identity, which is really priceless. That you are a student, and for the next 4 years, just don't bother me. Like, I'm going to college. Like, nobody says anything. Okay, of course you go to college. Like, do it, right? That's the most important thing right now. Is the college, is getting good grades, is becoming educated. So, and I think, I thought like, oh, I'll figure out by my own. And I kind of did figure out many things, and I got a job, etc. But at the same time, like in my job, right, if I want to progress and move to the next level, like, it's really hard to do without a degree. And for example, my manager, who is a COO, right, he has an MBA. And me, a person who didn't go to college, like, I really admired that he has an MBA, right? Another person has an MBA, and I'm like, I really admire them. So why do I admire people who have MBA, but I myself is so anti-college, right? It didn't make any sense anymore. So I realized the true value of colleges is to explore what you want, what you truly want, discover, go and learn. And man, college is not even about just studying. A lot of it's clubs, right? Clubs that I join. Like, for example, right now my lecture is in the evening, but right now I'm going to a club meeting, right? And then there's student government meetings and this and that, and you can create your own club, and that's really what I like, and that's really fun. Plus, you get to hang out with people. And my plan, of course, is to study well right now, and then go from there. But these are my 2 years in America, I've pretty much changed my thoughts, and I have friends who went to NYU, and I never really knew about NYU, but now I know. Now I know it's a really cool school, And recently I went to LA, and I went to UCLA, right? And I saw that school, and I'm like, wow, that's a really cool school. right? And there's a reason why it's top public school in the United States, right? And you know, I have a friend who just graduated with his master's in University of like Oregon, and he went to UC school as well. And that actually a friend of mine who I went to school with in Russia, like years ago, way before the wars, any wars. And we're still friends, right? So that's another benefit of kind of colleges. They give you that community and friendships that last your lifetime, hopefully, right? So as I'm approaching my college, these were my last 2 years. The biggest change is I realized like I need more time, and I'm not gonna be successful in like a year or two, right? I'm gonna really take my time because I'm competing with global people here and like the best of the best, right? So I'm willing to take my time. I'm willing to go and learn and study and to become the best, really. To become the best I can be. Find what I really truly want through college. And just go from there. So yeah, I went back to college. Yeah, life in suburbs sucks, but it's temporary. And we'll see what happens next. Thank you for watching this. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.